The criminal justice system in ancient India was based on the Dharmashastras, a collection of religious and legal texts. These texts prescribed a variety of punishments for different crimes, including fines, corporal punishment, and even death. The system was also based on the principle of restorative justice, which aimed to repair the harm caused by a crime rather than simply punish the offender. The Dharmashastras were compiled over a period of many centuries, and they reflect the changing social and political conditions of India during this time. The earliest Dharmashastras, such as the Manusmriti, are relatively harsh in their punishments. For example, the Manusmriti prescribes the death penalty for a wide range of offenses, including theft, adultery, and heresy. However, the later Dharmashastras, such as the Yajnavalkya Smriti, are more lenient in their punishments. These texts emphasize the importance of restorative justice, and they often prescribe fines or other forms of restitution as punishments for crimes. The criminal justice system in ancient India was also based on the principle of dharma, which is a complex concept that encompasses religious, moral, and legal obligations. In the context of the criminal justice system, dharma meant that everyone had a duty to uphold the law and to punish those who broke it. The main goal of the criminal justice system in ancient India was to maintain social order and to protect the innocent. The system was not perfect, but it did provide a framework for dealing with crime and for ensuring that justice was served. The punishments for crimes in ancient India varied depending on the severity of the crime and the social status of the offender. The most common punishments were fines, corporal punishment, and banishment. However, the death penalty was also a punishment for some crimes, such as murder, treason, and heresy. The fines imposed for crimes in ancient India were based on the offender's social status and the severity of the crime. For example, a Brahmin who committed theft might be fined 100 cows, while a Shudra who committed the same crime might be fined only 10 cows. Corporal punishment was also a common punishment for crimes in ancient India. The most common forms of corporal punishment were flogging, branding, and mutilation. Flogging was a common punishment for theft, while branding was a common punishment for adultery. Mutilations, such as cutting off the nose or ears, were reserved for the most serious crimes, such as murder. Banishment was also a common punishment for crimes in ancient India. Banishment was usually imposed for minor crimes, such as theft or assault. However, it could also be imposed for more serious crimes, such as treason or heresy. The principle of restorative justice was one of the most important principles of the criminal justice system in ancient India. Restorative justice is a process that aims to repair the harm caused by a crime rather than simply punish the offender. This is done by bringing the offender, the victim, and the community together to discuss the crime and to find ways to make amends. The principle of restorative justice was based on the belief that crime is not just an individual act, but also a crime against the community. By bringing the offender, the victim, and the community together, restorative justice sought to restore the balance that had been upset by the crime. The principle of restorative justice was not always applied in ancient India. However, it was an important principle that helped to shape the criminal justice system in this period. The criminal justice system in ancient India was a complex system, which was based on a variety of principles. These principles included the need to maintain social order, the importance of dharma, and the principle of restorative justice. The system was not perfect, but it provided a framework for dealing with crime and for ensuring that justice was served. The criminal justice system in ancient India has had a lasting impact on the development of the criminal justice system in India today. The principle of restorative justice, in particular, is still an important principle in the Indian criminal justice system.